This is Jay Bradley with Creepy Encounters. In this video, you will see what I believe to be a physical interaction between the Tendril and Chevron entities. If you are not familiar with either of these anomalies, I would suggest you take a look at a couple of my videos to get you up to speed. Not surprisingly, they are called the Tendril entity and the Chevron entity. In my previous videos, I have recorded footage of both entities individually, but never at the same time. However, in this video, not only are both entities present, but they are actually coming in physical contact with each other. Let's take a look at the footage for further analysis. Let's get a lay of the land here. This first red arrow is going to denote where the haunted oak is located. The next arrow is going to show you the location where the turkey was attacked in August of 2019. And some of those anomalous lights that appeared during that time were right in that location where that vegetation is along the bank of the Chippewa River. I direct your attention to the vegetation along the bank there. Take a look at that red arrow. Watch that blade of grass move to the right and a taller blade of grass move to the right. Let's take a look at that again. Right there's the movement, left to right. Taller piece of grass, if you want to call it that. I don't know what species of plant. I've tried to identify it and have not been able to do so. There's the movement again and the taller piece moving from left to right. Let's zoom in and get a closer look at this. There it is right there, left to right, left to right. And yes, the wind was blowing that day very gently, I believe, from left to right. I'm not sure it had enough force to move those two blades of grass because I don't see anything else really moving that vigorously in that direction. I shot this video on August the 12th, 2020. Then 4 days later, on August the 16th, I returned and set up the camera almost in that same spot where we saw those two strange pieces of grass move, and I didn't realize I had done this, but take a look at this. I've got a red arrow on this. I'll call it a green tendril. I move into frame as I want to go ahead and lower some of the vegetation, push it down so that I don't end up having it blocking my shot. It seems to move towards me. When I bend down, it moves back to the left and away. Now yes, the wind did start to pick up at that point, but right after it made its turn. Let's take a look at that again. There's the tendril. It's going to move to the right. I'm still back behind the camera adjusting things. I'm going to come forward and start to push some of that vegetation down and out of the way so it won't block my shot. And as I walk into frame and then I bend over, you see it move towards me, appears to anyway, and then turns back to the left as if it's trying to avoid me. Could this be the wind just pushing it back to the left? That's possible, but it seemed like it moved before the wind actually picked up. Let's take a look at what I now call the tendril instead of the green tendril. Watch this thing. It's moving back to the left. Something is going to occur here very shortly. Watch it very closely. Right there, did you see that? Let's look at that again. Let's focus on the end of the tendril itself. It's going to swing back to the left right at this point, and then a yellow colored object is going to come in contact with it right there. Let's look at it one more time. Moves back to the left, and then this, whatever it is, I believe it's one of these Chevron entities, clips the end of it. We'll zoom in. This is at normal 30 frames per second. You'll see it clip the end of it again. Let's go ahead and put it in slow motion. Right here. And there it is contacting the end of the tendril itself. I shot this footage for 32 minutes and 42 seconds, and this is the only time anything entered frame like that from above. No sticks fell down, no leaves came down from any angle, but it happened in that one spot and nailed the end of that tendril, and I don't find that to be a mere coincidence. Put this in freeze frame. Note the upper left-hand corner, there it is. Has wings, if you will. Looks like a twig almost, but look at it fold up. If you want to call those wings, they're folded up. Pushes down the end of the tendril. Let's look at the next frame. Tendril still being pushed down. It's going to pop back up. Wings, if you want to call it that, are extended on this thing. Looks like that chevron shape. Then it folds back up again, right there. And then extends itself and disappears into the vegetation. Let's look at that again. I have now zoomed in. We're in freeze frame. Let's take a look at that. Looks like, again, a twig with wings on it. It's folded up, just contacted the end of the tendril. Next frame is going to push it down. Wings, if you want to call them that, are folded. Push it down even further. Right there, the wings are starting to extend themselves. I see some little black spots on the end of it on the right. Now it releases the tendril. Wings are extended on this chevron. And then they're going to fold together right there. And then it disappears into the vegetation. I didn't mention this earlier, but as you look at the footage currently in front of you, you will see a second long tendril on the right side of frame. It, like the other tall tendril on the left, behaves very strangely compared to the surrounding vegetation. As you may recall from my earlier videos, that when the Tendril entity appeared, it had two tendrils. That is not unlike what you're seeing in this video. Maybe these are just normal pieces of vegetation native to this area of northwestern Wisconsin, and there's nothing of a paranormal nature going on here. But I have to ask the question, is there a species of plant that can independently and quickly move on their own accord? Or is the tendril entity using the vegetation as camouflage and is hiding in plain sight? And what about the yellow chevron entity? Was it contacting the end of the tendril a mere coincidence, or are there other reasons for this type of behavior? I have more questions than answers about the strange things I have caught on camera in this paranormal hotspot. I will be posting many more videos of the high strangeness that pervades this area. Feel free to leave your comments, questions, and suggestions about what you have seen in this video at creepyencounters.com. Thanks.